Well, the new season is definitely underway. Yesterday, the 5th of August, was the start of the 2024-2025 season, and it started at the Vaal as well as at Durbanville. Good to see that the Western Cape racing was back on track. Well, we have our first meeting in the Eastern Cape, and that is this afternoon as of 12:25. We're on the turf, and the weatherman at this moment is promising us a fair day. There is our details as far as contact is concerned. X or the WhatsApp number, they are displayed. Of course, it is Betway, the proud sponsors of Waited to Win, and now the proud sponsors of the PSL, and one of the biggest sporting deals ever struck in South Africa. Now, let's talk about what's happening today. It is 12:25. Welcome to Nelson Mandela Bay Maiden Plate that opens the meeting, and it's a great pleasure to welcome back and very informed Mr. Nino Podesta. Nino, I hope you've brought your Monday form here with you. It is a great tipping from you last Monday. Everything you seem to touch turned to gold. Good morning.
Good morning, Cecil. Yeah, well, it's a different meeting. It's a different day. And hopefully we get it right again.
All right, let's get straight into it. Now, we've got the scratching of the three winning captain. How are we going about race number one, the first leg of the first bipod of the new season in the Western Cape? Tell us some more, Mr. Podesta. Anything in the first timers that you like, or it is the race horses?
We're going to start off with a very, very strong selection, and probably the start of all multiples with number 2, Maneki Neka, the Candice Bass Raider from the Western Cape. I think, personally, impossible to oppose, and a very strong selection, and banker in the bipod.
Thank you so much. Yes, it has been a bit expensive to follow, but I think if it can't win today, then we've got problems going forward. But certainly does look a standout, and I see it's the best bet for many, and rightly so. So it is off with the first of our 8 races at 12:25. That's Nino's bipod at total cost of 216 Rand. Okay, so we get into our first PA of the new season in the Eastern Cape. By the way, Nico Kritsiotis, I believe, will be the man on Mike's side on the course itself. So just to tread warily, he can really call home some of the biggest outsiders. But on a serious note, there's another very short price favorite in a race number 2, and we'll be touching on that in the first leg of the PA with Nino shortly, and goes by the name English Mistress. It is a competitive racing today, maiden plate. It is over the 1,400 meters, and no scratchings in race number 2. In fact, only 3 scratchings: race 1, number 3, race 3, number 5, and race 3, number 7. Right, let's get to Nino. Another odds-on favorite. Well, this is an odds-on favorite in the form of English Mistress. Was due to have run in a meeting that was aborted, unfortunately, so no form update necessary. Last run was a second behind the Princess of Bayou. Mr. Podesta, is this a banker in the first leg of the PA once again?
Yes, Nico, Cecil. And it was also supposed to have run yesterday, not only in that meeting that was abandoned. And Maneki Neka was also supposed to run yesterday. They obviously opted to run them in PE. And another very, very strong selection from the same stable, Candice Bass and jockey Alda Daimea. And I really think they're going to open the card up. And the double is a very strongly suggested bet. Candice Bass race 1 onto Candice Bass race 2. And banker in all bets, banker.
I see, well, quite a few bankers there. Leg 1, legs 4, 5, and 6 also bankers, so it should be a pretty mundane stuff, Nino.
Yeah, yes, bankers in the PA, yes, but not bankers in the exotics. There are 1 or 2 dangers in the other leg.
There it is, 144 Rand. It's off at 12:55 with that first leg race number 2. All right, so you're watching beg your pardon, Waited to Win, rather. That is proudly sponsored by Betway, and we are on to race number 3. And of course, our contact details are at the bottom, our X handle and our WhatsApp number. And of course, we're looking forward to that Summer Cup, proudly brought to you by Betway last weekend of November. That will be the latest edition, and it certainly promises to be a big affair. All right, so we're talking about the race number 3. Now, race 3 isn't as open and cut as the preceding 2 races. Here we've got a competitive field. The visitors don't really have a hand in this race. It's the locals. And the One Storm Boulevard, coming off a bit of a break, having had that 1 run since relocating from the Eric Sands stable, was a weak favorite in a race number 3. All right, so I saw in the PA you went wide. In the Pick 6, I think you're going to do likewise, Mr. Podesta.
Cecil, I haven't done a pick six. I'm not good with pick sixes. I always seem to go. I did catch one a couple of weeks ago, but it's like a bet that I seldom catch. Getting back to race 3, now, if this horse, Storm Boulevard, if he doesn't bleed, that's the only concern, that he bled last time and he was suspended for 60 days. But if he doesn't bleed, he brings by far the strongest form into the race, and he should win and win easy. The concern is the bleeding. So for that reason, I do give number 11, Pommels, big spender, a big chance in this race. You'll love the step up in distance. And then obviously number 6, Union Rose with Kamala up, the coupling to the 11. And then if people want to go wider, I suppose you've got to look at horses like Oliver Twist, Donny's Boy, and also a horse like King Sailor. But my first 3 in the race is 1 to beat 11 and 6. 1,
Okay.
11,
And you've suggested a box exactor for us, 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, and 11. Please be reminded we've had 2 scratchings come through overnight. The 5 Top Dollar and the 7 King Sailor are both scratched. The latter was in single digits as far as the betting is concerned. We're still with Nina Podesta as we preview racing in the Eastern Cape. It is on the turf at Fairview, Quebec. And race 4 will be the first leg of the first jackpot. We get into our first handicap. Affiliates and Mares 66 distance, 1,200 meters. And the favorite is a very informed number 2, Jade's the Cabernet. And that is at 24 to 10. The 8 are Breed Babies at 9 to 2. And runner that could be value. Hopefully Nina backs us up with this one. That's number 1. My Amy Beach, that is at 5 to 1. 8 to 1 about the 9 Blue Palace. And then there's a nibble at the 7 Anglesey, who's currently been shortened into 10 to 1. Miami Beach, Jade's Cabernet, Mr. Podesta, which way are we going? I know that, well, I hope you've got a jackpot for us. The first jackpot race, number 4.
Yes, I do have a first jackpot, and I've added a couple of horses here because, you know what, I don't really like this race because it's either Jade's Cabernet or anything. But she is 4 kilos worse off at the weights with Miami Beach for a 3/4 length beating, a couple of runs back, but that was on the poly. I do believe that Miami Beach is better on the turf, so he's going to be a lively wire here and a big danger to Jade's Cabernet. But then again, there's a horse here that I quite like in the form of number 9, Blue Palace at the price. So that I'll give a big chance to. And then I've added in the jackpot 2 outsiders in the form of number 12, Marshmallow, whose only win has come over the course and distance. And I've put in number 13, Cold Truth. So to sum it up, it's either Jade's Cabernet or anything can win.
Thank you so much. Here's confirmation. 1, 2, 7, 9, 12, and 13 is included as roughies. And that's an outlay of 72 rands, so quite affordable, which is the jackpot 1, off at 2:05. For our second jackpot, we'll be taking that big leap from a merit rated 66, which was a race number 4, to a Fillies and Mares and 96. In fact, it is an open 96. And here we have a strong hander for the visitors. And Candice Bass-Robinson, she means business. She sent quite a powerful string that holds their own in their own province. And in this instance, it is Piroshka who will be representing the stable once again out of the mayor, getting the ride. Now, Piroshka is at 39 to 20. Number 2, the Winter Lake, that is at 28 to 10, in from 3 to 1. Gavin Smith teaming up with Louis Mklotwa, and that all spells trouble. It is 5 to 1, and better bar those quoted runners. Right, Mr. Podesta, it is back to the visitors and the strong hand that they have over the field in race number 5. It is the 4 Piroshka, but I really want to hear your thoughts on Al Ray Vane, who has the first run in the province, formerly in the KZN with Duncan Howes. Drops in trip, which is the only worry. Has done very well over the longer trips. I mean, that third last run was a second, a length and a half behind Get Impressed, whom we know won the first race on Gold Cup Day just last Sunday at Hollywood Bettsgravel.
Cecil, getting to Al Ray Vane, I think we're going to have to just watch him today. I think the 1200 is too short for him. So, but I'm definitely going to follow him when he goes over ground in P, because I do believe that he's going to win quite a few races. And that is a horse I have in my little black book. But getting back to this is now familiar territory for me because I am confident in this race. I don't believe that the Winterlake can give 4 kilograms to Perushka. So my strong selection is Perushka, the visiting stable again to win it, and the Winterlake, the only danger. And I've gone 2 and 4 in all my bets.
Thank you so much. That is the start of Jackpot 2 as mentioned. It is a merit rated 96 and that'll be over the 1200 meters. We've got a couple of features to look forward to in at Quebec this afternoon. That is races 6 and 7. That was race number 5. Stand by for the preview to that first feature. Right, as we were rounding off the previous insert, we were talking about the features still to come, and this is the second leg of the East Cape Fillies and Mares Challenge. It is a listed East Cape Paddock Stakes, and the distance will be 1,600 meters. There is 1 or 2 local recruits or new recruits that will certainly be worth watching once again on the card. We've touched on Al Ray Vane in race number 6. The one to really sit up and watch as it acclimatizes, I guess, is Rocky Reef. That is number 1 now with Gavin Smith, formerly with Peter Muscat, last seen on July Day in that consolation race and not disgraced, finishing 4 lengths behind. But the favorite is Time for Love, the 2, that is at 13 to 5. 33 to 10 is the 4, Rainbow Laurie Keat. The 3, Lunar Halo, is at 11 to 2. It is 13 to 2 and better bar those. Well, as I mentioned, at 13 out of 14 at Greyville over the 2,200 meters. That was the July consolation race, so to speak. And only 4 lengths behind the winner then, Cape Eagle, who was not winning out of turn. And I think Rocky Reef is another one for your little black book.
Yeah, definitely when he goes over ground. I don't quite think that he can win today, but racing can spring up any kind of a surprise. Cecil, I'm confident here again that the winner will come from 2, 3, and 4. Now, touching on Luna Hela, you can put a line right through that last run. That wasn't her run. And that was the day when Alan's Creer horses all ran badly. So there was something not right on the day. Between the 2 and the 4, I don't know which of the 2 travel better, but I do believe that Rainbow Laurie Keat will be better suited to the 1,000-meter straight at Fairview than Time for Love. So in summing this up, my first choice is Rainbow Laurie Keat. I've banked it in the PA. I cannot see it not running in the first 3. My second choice is Luna Halo, and then Time for Love for 3rd. But all 3 must go into the exotics.
4, 3, 2 would be the order of preference. As you see there, and as pick 3 has gone the 3 numbers, and it is the 4 that gets the slight nod, and is none other raider from the Western Cape, Candice Bass Robinson and Alda de Meyer. Okay, the second and final of our features is another listed. This is the Memorial Mile. And again, a field that is quite competitive of 9 and will face up. The off time to that last leg of the first leg of the last double is 15 of 50. That is our penultimate race on day 1 of a brand new season in the Quebec at Fairview, where we are racing on the turf. Now, we're just going to have a look at some of the betting. And topping the betting for race number 7 is the number 3, Sugar Mountain. And it certainly stands out like a sore thumb, 11 to 20. And Neville at the 4, Cheriano, the local hoper, that has certainly been a model of consistency, and that is at 5 to 1 and from 11 to 2, 13 to 2, and a better bar those quoted runners. Well, I think like most of us, Anino, Sugar Mountain is where your eggs will be. That is the basket where you're putting all your eggs, I take it?
Yes, it is, and my best bet on the card. And just to let you know that I have taken the treble already, the first 2 of Bass and this one. So this is my very, very strong selection. I think he's head and shoulders above this field. Even though I do believe that Sharia Nay is a PE champion, I love that horse. I don't think she's quite good enough to beat Sugar Mountain. But that is the only danger. And, a straight exactor won't do any harm. 3 from 4.
3 from 4. And what about the ones used for Fairy Night? What sort of chance do you give it?
Well, he's a young horse.
Yeah.
4 years old, improving horse. That would be my 3rd choice.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure he's good enough to beat the 3 and the 4.
No, definitely stands out. Sugar Mountain, best bet of the day for Nino and Many. It is Fairview Racing and the feature, the second and final feature of the afternoon in the first leg of the last double at 10 minutes to 4.